Pulse 95. Between local lines, notes from the Emirate.
Well, we're so excited for the 40th edition of the Sharjah International Book Fair that is coming our way here at the Expo Center, Sharjah, on the 3rd of November. It's from the 3rd of November until the 13th of November, and it is actually organized by the Sharjah Book Authority. We're very, very excited for it. The theme this year is going to be There is Always a Right Book. Of course, there's always a book for you. And we're going to see a great lineup, a global lineup of authors, publishers, creatives, and intellectuals who will be leading the fair's 11-day activities. We're very excited for that. And of course, the Sharjah International Book Fair is actually one of the top 3 book fairs in the world. It's mega and the crown jewel of Sharjah's comprehensive cultural project launched under the directives of His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Muhammad Al Qasimi, the Supreme Council member and the ruler of Sharjah. And we, as Pulse 95, we will be definitely a big part of this fair, as we are every single year.
Yeah, and last year we had a special coverage with Aisha Al-Mazmi, and we had a special show from the ground. Yes, of course, I was right there. I remember it was an election day in the United States, so we're checking our phone every 5 minutes to see who might have won the election. And what's great about this edition is the campaign. I found the campaign very, very interesting. It was an international campaign. They even had it playing in Times Square in New York City. And it's all about, there's a book for everybody, no matter who you are, what you do, how old you are, or what your profession or interests or talents might be. There's something for you in a book. So it's there to encourage the notion of reading for everybody. And this year around, we're expected to see a unique mix, as always, of literary and cultural programs as well, and it's going to span the gamut. I know every year they also have cooking workshops and special seminars and sessions as well from renowned personalities, not just ones in the literary sphere, but also various celebrities coming in and sharing their experience as well. So it's going to be a little bit of everything, and I can't wait to be part of it with you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun, as we normally do, and we usually do whenever we go to the Sharjah International Book Fair. It is their 40th. 40
years.
We're celebrating, and if you're into something, you're into books. That was the slogan, guys. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The big advert that was everywhere, and you could see it everywhere. It was amazing, the hype that they've built up. And here in the United Arab Emirates, we're very blessed to have these wonderful events, because we've got the live events back on with us. We've got the Expo 2020 Dubai. We had the International Government Communication Forum in Sharjah. We're having the Watch and Jewelry Show, and now we'll have the Sharjah International Book Fair. This is amazing. We're back to live events. We're back to coming together and looking ahead to the future.
And we're looking ahead to also speaking with the chairman of the Sharjah Book Authority, His Excellency Ahmed bin Rakab Al-Amri, speaking about this, because he did also speak about it, and he's encouraging people to take part in this year's fair. He did say that we encourage people from all backgrounds and age groups to attend this exceptional edition, the 40th edition of the Sharjah International Book Fair, which will further the vision of His Highness, the ruler of Sharjah, His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Muhammad Al Qasimi, and also that is to invest in the human and the human capital, and also enrich the community's knowledge to drive development. So nations, they definitely rely on people for advancement, and people's learning experiences of both their own and global cultures form the first building block of civilizational progress. And those were the words of His Excellency Ahmed bin Rakab Al-Amri.
Yeah, and we also look forward to getting more details on how this international book fair will function, because last time around it was a bit of a hybrid event, a mix of virtual sessions with live ones as well, and it went smoothly, to a lot of people's surprise, because it was a time where there was a lot of anxiety about the prospect of hosting a live in-person event as well, with thousands of people flocking the halls. But it surprisingly went very, very smoothly, and a lot of optimism ahead of us. And now that we've got more events kicking off right now, It's going to be, we're looking forward to having even more people in the halls of Expo Center congregating in a safe fashion and talking about their love and passion for books as well.
No, it definitely is. Now, really eager for this grand event to take place, and we're all excited. So, guys, let us know on the text lines 4215 if you've got any particular books that you're a fan of, love reading. But I've got to make a little bit of a confession at the moment as well.
Yes, sir.
I love hypes. You know, I love the excitement.
Yeah.
So, I bought 2 books from the Sharjah International Book Fair just because people were buying in and around. I bought the Expo Center. I don't think I've finished it yet. I read the first few pages and I haven't had a chance to complete the book.
You're not the only one. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
to
fine.
everybody.
It happens to everyone.
I'm very sad. Like,
At least you started reading something.
I started. I did,
which is good.
I got there,
Yeah.
and then eventually.
Some people buy books, and I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I buy a lot of books and I just put it in the bookshelf, and
It looks good.
You know what?
it looks good, and I look smarter.
Jay-Z was talking about that. He said he bought like tens of thousands of books just to fill his shelves in his house.
Yeah.
And it's just it's an accessory to your house. It's like a piece of furniture or something.
It definitely is. I think it definitely is. It shows a lot about your personality, because if there's certain things that you like, you know, even if it's motivational speakers, even if it's autobiographies, for example, similar to my case. So it just gives off a vibe. So if they're there, you know, they cover the shelves. If you have a bookshelf in your room, and whoever's visiting will always, you know, everyone loves like gazing around in a living room, looking what's there. They like observing, and they notice books as well. So always good to have them as well. So do let us know on the text lines 4215 if you've started reading a book and maybe not read it yet, and we'll encourage you, we'll urge you to read with us as well. Text us on 4215 if you are looking forward to any particular author and have a wish list of an author, then we can definitely pass it on to His Excellency Ahmed Rakkad Al-Amri, and I'm sure they can get them over as well. Stay with us. Lots to discuss on the show. Up next, we talk to you about good old James Bond here on the Morning Majlis.
Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95, and a very warm welcome back onto the Morning Majlis. Now, if you've not seen the Bond movie, don't worry. We won't reveal any of those, or you know, giving away anything about the movie. There's not going to be anything that you have to be worried about. We won't have any spoilers. It's all going to be a, hopefully, fingers crossed, objective review of the movie. Are you guys a big fan of James Bond? Have you heard of him?
Well, they're saying it's the best. It's the best Bond film to date.
Yes.
A lot of people are saying that, and I heard that people are saying this is the movie that everyone has been waiting for, obviously, as it was delayed because of the pandemic.
Oh, yeah, it was.
So that's why like people are so excited to go. And I know that it opened or was released at midnight on Thursday, September 30th, and the response from audiences, it has been rapturous so far. According to cinema management, they're saying that, oh my god, like people are so excited, and opened at midnight, and
£5 million in the UK in the opening night.
Wow.
And people here expected, like about 150,000 people expected to have attended this film in the UAE alone. 150,000. You're one of those people.
I was. I think, I mean, shout out to the guys who hosted us. I think
Like it was sold out, people saying.
It was definitely.
Yeah.
And I went into the premiere and very kindly invited by the team there. And, you know, I turned up in my tux.
Yeah.
Oh.
I said, you know what, I'm going to go there. So
You're going to do it Bond style.
do it Bond style. And shout out to Neve, who hosted us there. She looked at me and started laughing, thinking, I thought you're here to work with us right now. Because the entire staff were in this Bond theme of that cinema. But the thing is, do you know what? What I love about James Bond is that it's a huge thing in British cinema. You know, in Britain, everyone just wants to go watch it. It's always been classic. It's been going on for such a long time, this series. It's all about this hero who's very, very good and, you know, is invincible, has amazing gadgets, has a car that can shoot bullets, has a bulletproof vehicle, has planes that can float and become a boat. So he was this fantasy kind of a character. And I think in this movie, they brought it all out there. And another interesting point about this movie is This is Daniel Craig's final one.
Yeah.
He's 53 now, and the first time he became...
That's it for him, khalas.
Yeah, it is.
And he earned a lot of money from it.
He definitely did. And, Daniel Craig, when he took over from Pierce Brosnan was the Bond. For people who were growing up in our age...
Who's your favorite Bond?
I'd say Pierce Brosnan, because he was the Bond. That's who I always associated him with, because, growing up in the 90s, he was the Bond for that time. And when Daniel Craig took over, everyone was like... What?
Yeah, I remember.
Who's this guy? He was only 38, and he did a very good job. He was very stubborn and very cold face and had the same type of vibe. But in this movie, you see Daniel Craig crying. You see emotions in James Bond. This...
I still associate James Bond with Sean Connery.
I can understand why.
I still cannot see Craig.
Anyway. No, Craig
I don't know
did a
why.
good job
He did a great job. I still can't associate him with James Bond for some reason. I don't know why.
Was this the best Daniel Craig Bond movie, you think?
I think so, yes.
The reviews are so positive.
Yeah, especially for 2 hours 43 minutes.
Right.
People are getting everything.
People get bored, but they didn't.
No, especially a person like me who loves looking at his watch when the movies are there, especially that long.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I can't watch any Bollywood movies, because they go on for ages. But now I was amazed.
Yeah.
Even though I had a tactical 5-minute nap, that was after food, but then I was okay. But no, it was a great movie.
Yeah, the thing about those Bond movies, and I've seen a few of the Daniel Craig ones at the cinema, usually with friends, to be honest, I space out during those movies, but what I always remember is the fact that the movies are just so beautiful. They always shot in these beautiful locations.
Yeah.
You got beautiful clothes, beautiful cars, this opulence on display, and I think that's really the charm of it for me, is just looking at that vibe, that aesthetic that they put together. It's really interesting.
Well, another side of the story that we want to talk about is Daniel Craig is getting his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
He is.
Apparently he is, yeah. So, so he's actually, his star will be the 2,704th on the Walk of Fame, and he'll be the fourth 007 actor in the film series to receive this honor, following David Niven, Roger Moore, and Pierce Brosnan.
Amazing.
Yeah. So this is going to be cool for him.
It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be the new James Bond, especially in today's climate, too, because you think of all the classical James Bonds, and you always get this tough guy image who's kind of chauvinistic and a man of a few words, but I wonder how they're going to change it moving forward. You can see the shift from Pierce Brosnan to Daniel Craig in terms of how the movies are set out. It's the more action-y this time around, more Fast and Furious-y. So, it's going to be interesting to see how they change the whole formula moving from Daniel Craig.
It would be interesting because this time they had a very diverse set of cast. Usually you'd have, the British actors and a male-dominated James Bond, and apart from M, who was the female leader of the group, and suddenly there's a bad guy who's got a Russian accent or whatever, and there's Daniel Craig, or James Bond is on a holiday somewhere, the guys come back and say 007, we need you, and he gets convinced into standard story.
The formula.
It's different this time around.
Is it really different?
Because he isn't 007.
Mm-hmm.
He loses that title because he's retired.
That's why it's different.
And it's a lady of color. Who is the 007? It is Lashana Lynch.
I see it happening now. The next James Bond will be a
potentially female.
Yeah,
and
Jenny Bond, maybe.
And Jenny Bond. But Lashana Lynch as 007 played a beautiful way. She played 007's character really well. What you'd expect from the top agent of the country. And Rami Malek being the villain. He's going to
attend the ceremony, right?
He did attend the premiere.
He will speak at the ceremony, or he spoke at it, or something.
Yeah, the star of Hollywood. Walk of Fame.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
No, but Rami Malek in the movie itself, although it was a very quiet character, he was the big villain. A lot of movie critics are disappointed by his character, but I was happy with this character because the way he delivered. I was looking more at the acting as opposed to. Should he have played an even more villainous role? Should he have been the dominant or final character for James Bond to take on? No, but he played the role really well, and I was very impressed by his presence on screen, the way he delivers his lines. A reminder of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Of how he was in the movie.
Yeah.
And what an actor, to be honest, and such a proud moment for us from this part of the world to see someone of our ethnic origin is doing so well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up the conversation, we're going to go around and see who's our favorite James Bond. For me, it's Sean Connery. Ahmed?
Yeah, so I think of Sean Connery when I think of James Bond, but in all fairness, in terms of movies I've seen the most, it's the Daniel Craig ones, and I liked Skyfall a lot. It was a beautiful movie, so let's go with Daniel Craig.
What about you, AK?
I would say Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, okay. I'd go with that. I think that was, even though some of the movies, if you go and watch Pierce Brosnan's movie, you'd be thinking, whoa. Oh, cinema has advanced so much, man. Daniel Craig's movies were way better. But yeah, I think character-wise, portrayal, Pierce Brosnan. Whenever I see Pierce Brosnan movies right now, associated with James Bond.
Let's ask the listeners as well. Who's their favorite?
Text us.
Yeah, text us 4215. Who's your favorite James Bond actor? Who played it the best and why?
Exactly. Well, guys, keep those texts rolling in. We'll be back after the business headlines because we're massively overrun at this stage, and we'll get some angry responses from our team. Stay with us. This is the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
The first World Fair that is held here in the Middle East, Expo 2020 Dubai, kicked off Thursday night with a lavish ceremony of fireworks, music, and messaging about the power of global collaboration for a more sustainable future. And that is the logo here and the slogan, really. Stars headlining this opening ceremony of Expo 2020, which was projected in public spaces around the UAE, included Italian singer Andrea Bocelli, British singer Ellie Goulding, Chinese pianist Lang Lang, and Saudi singer Mohammed Abdu. Now, Dubai is really hoping to boost its economy by attracting 25 million business and tourist visits to the World Fair, which has been built from scratch on 4.3 square kilometer of desert. Now, many countries and companies are also looking to the Expo, which is the first major global event open to visitors since the coronavirus basically hit our world, and that is to boost trade and investment. So the full Expo site, it did open its doors to almost 200 countries on Friday after being delayed for a year by the pandemic. It was chosen 8 years ago to follow the 2015 Expo in Milan, Italy. The event cost around $6.8 billion. Lots of money. But so Dubai says it wants the Expo, which is an exhibition of culture, technology, and architecture under the banner Connecting Minds and Creating the Future, to be a demonstration of ingenuity and a place where global challenges such as climate change, conflict, and economic growth can be addressed together. So this is something that we are very proud of, being here residents and citizens of the UAE. And Abdul Karim, you were actually there on the site. So can you just give us a little bit of coverage of what you really saw?
Oh, it's great.
And what to expect.
It's a great place. Okay, in basic terms, a lot of people will have this question saying, and a few people texted in this morning as well. Faisal as well, shout out to you. Mm-hmm. She said, what's the big difference between Global Village and this?
Yeah, okay. I get that a lot.
Yeah, and I think everyone does. And it's a huge difference, I'd say. First up, there are no shops there. Secondly, in Global Village, you get snacks everywhere, like popcorn. And you don't get that. You don't get plastic water bottles.
More business-oriented, right?
More business-oriented. And the other thing is, because they focus on sustainability, right, they don't sell water bottles. Plastic water bottles are not sold over there. You can't get them. You can get those ones in Tetra Pak, these Aquafina, whatever water bottles. It isn't in Tetra Paks. And they urge you to use those not disposable but the normal water bottles that you have of your own, which you can fill from water stations.
Nice.
So you'll have to get that. So that's one way of making sure the place is clean. So they are very forward thinking on that front. Pavilions wise, it's great, and the great thing is the people at the pavilions are from the country. So and they're not just random shopkeepers. They're people. They're commissioner generals. There could be deputy prime ministers over there. There could be minister of foreign affairs, and it's a very executive type of an event.
Yeah.
Yes, their own pavilions are designed for the public, for them to come in and look at the countries, and not like unlike Global Village, where you have different stalls that will end up selling the exact same thing again. This is different. You walk in, there's screens, there's news about country. Now, I was going to bring my Expo passport in to flex, right? But then I didn't bring it in because I didn't get any stamps. Because I was just so busy working. So
I like that idea. So they stamp your passport or
whichever country you visit. Whichever pavilion you visit. So you get a passport. You can buy it. Okay, so it costs 20 dirhams. People are buying it online on Amazon.
This is so cool.
Yeah, so instead of buying on Amazon,
Instagrammable.
It's a very Instagrammable thing.
You're already thinking about posting now.
Yeah, and I was going to bring it in, the passport, but because I don't have any stamps on it, I thought it's not much point of bringing it in and showing it to our viewers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because you can take that passport, put your picture, and write your name and everything.
And you wrote global citizen as your nationality.
I wrote global citizen as my nationality.
I saw that.
Because I was like, you know what, that's what we are, and this is what the UAE is.
Yes.
And then I moved around, and you walk around. There's a lot of walking. So guys, if you're there, even for coverage, let go of your smart shoes, let go of your heels. There is no point in wearing heels and going to these places. Just wear trainers, turn up. Everyone understands you're wearing trainers because you're walking, and it's a lot of walking. And for those people who want to do steps, like at least 15,000, Expo is the place to be.
How much bigger is it than Global Village?
Like, much bigger, much larger.
Meaning like twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times?
I think that's a double the size.
Double?
Double the size of Global Village.
That's
still huge.
Massive, yeah.
That's massive, yeah.
There's 3
Global Village, you really need also like really comfortable shoes to be walking around.
Exactly, yeah.
So.
But Global Village is sparse. It's spread around. Here, what's good is there's pavilion after pavilion after pavilion. So you don't have to walk too much. But then again, just research wherever your pavilion is. Let's say, for example, let's give you a few examples. Sweden, Germany, and...
Is there a map that they give you?
There is a map that they give you, and there's a map on the passport. And
Nice.
Google Maps works, guys. So once you're there, you can Google Map and it'll give you walking directions to your pavilion. So that's cool. The US pavilion and Indian pavilion, they're around the Dome Plaza a little bit. They are, I think, if I'm not wrong, in Sustainability Pavilion. Pakistan, the UK, and all those are in the Opportunity District. I parked in the Mobility District because it seemed the closest to the motorway. And the Mobility District, I literally turned up at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, thinking there's going to be a crazy rush of people. People will be there super eager, because I remember when Dubai Metro started, it was ridiculous. It was like queuing up for roller coasters. But no, it was okay at that time.
Yeah.
People started to come around 5 p.m. Best time to explore the Expo, guys, evening. Don't go in the afternoon.
It's open from
9 a.m. until midnight.
Oh, yeah, every single day.
Every single day goes on for a while.
Yeah. This is awesome.
I'd definitely suggest in October. I don't know what Cyclone Shaheen does. Does it bring cold weather afterwards? We don't know. But guys, best time is to go evening.
So Ahmed, how can for a family enjoy a day out at Expo?
Well, there are plenty
of work?
Yeah, there are plenty of experiences there, plenty of things to do. What piqued my interest are the shows the different countries are putting together. So, for instance, yesterday, France celebrated its official holiday, Bastille Day. Now, usually, it's celebrated on July 14, but many of the countries participating in the Expo will host their own special day to show off everything from their unique culture, food, and technology as well. So what we saw France put together is they had shows, stilt walkers dressed up as aliens, showcasing France's traditional cuisine, and a lot of entertainment put forth as well. And we're going to be seeing this throughout the event as different countries celebrate their heritage and tradition. And I think that's going to be a unique opportunity for families to sort of get acquainted with the different parts of the world. I see the Expo as a miniature globe. You're just going from one country to another, and it's a microcosm of all the different cultures getting in one place. So that's definitely one thing to do as well. And of course, no shortage of food and cuisines to try out at the different pavilions as well.
Yeah, and depending on how much families they want to spend, a trip to the Expo can actually be done on a small budget, or for a special day out, visitors can spend a little bit more to make the most of their experience. At the very least, a typical family of 4 can expect to pay about 400 dirhams for a day out.
Yeah.
That includes travel to the site, entry tickets, food, drink, and also souvenirs. That's just to give you a little bit of, sum it up in a nutshell. So the time now is to obviously capture the best deals, with anyone visiting in October promised unlimited access for the whole month for the price of a standard day ticket, which is 95 dirhams. Expo has some great deals for families looking to visit the site together. So accompanied children and youths under the age of 18 and anyone over the age of 60 can visit for free of charge. But a season-long family pass with unlimited entries valid until March 31st costs 950 dirhams. That includes a free access pass for a nanny and discounts on food and beverages at selected outlets. And also a nanny that's visiting with a family on the ticket, they must show proof, or she must show a proof of her occupation on the residency page of her passport. Tickets for children under the age of 6 will be issued on arrival. A 6-month season pass costs 495 dirhams for an adult, with a 30-day multi-visit pass costing about 195 dirhams.
Wow, it's a lot of cost. But I like the family deal. That's kind of interesting, because if one person's paying 495, then as a collective 4 people, you can get 690. Oh, what was it? 995.
950.
950. Wow. Well, that's pretty.
950. That's for the season-long family pass with unlimited entries.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's a cool one to do. But that's great as well. So, but today, guys, you would expect to see, if you're going over to the Expo,
and for people to get there, they're saying that Dubai Metro is the best way to get there.
You can drive as well.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, there's so much parking. There is a lot of parking. Yes. And,
is it really far?
Yeah, it's far.
You're gonna walk a lot?
You can hop on a bus. There's shuttles running.
Yeah.
If you're patient, it's fine. But yeah, the best way is the metro. But if you are too far away from the metro and want to drive in, you're still okay. But today, you'll expect to see this. You'll hear this, because it is the famous German Unity Day. And shout out to all German listeners of ours, friends of the show. Happy Unity Day. And it is a very, very exciting time over at Expo. They've got plans of celebrating it. So if you are going to go over to the German Pavilion, do make sure you do get that selfie with the hashtag German Unity Day. This is a great time for all of you, and shout out to all of our listeners. Happy National Day. Morning Majlis shall return right after a break, and we'll continue the discussions on the Expo right after the news headlines as well. Stay with us. This is the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of the Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.